All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. It's Elena Cardone and myself, Shanda Sumter. Elena, this is the first live I'm doing of the year because I take a whole month off during Christmas time and I dedicate it to my family. And so this is the first live of the year, and I'm excited to jump off with you and really talk about some things that are coming up in our community like crazy. Hi, Shannon Irvine. Hi, Tanya. Hi, you guys. Awesome. So good as we're starting to jump on. Yay. Okay. So, you guys, I asked Elena to come on because we have a huge community of women. And yes, gentlemen, we got you too, but we have a huge community of women. And I think that a lot of people are struggling with conversations around a debate around creating wealth, around their family, around what people think about them. And Elena, I'm going to ask you some of the hard conversations that people battle with so that we have the best year possible. So it's awesome that I'm kicking off this year with you. So welcome. Anybody who doesn't know Elena, I'd love you to just share a little bit about your history and then I'll jump into some questions.
Thank you so much, Shanda. My name's Elena Cardone. I'm super honored to be your first live of the year. To Grant Cardone, if you don't know who Grant Cardone is, take my word for it. That is one powerful individual. So I've been with him for 20 years. And in that 20 years, I've really made it quite a pivot and quite an adjustment. I started out 20 years ago as an actress. I was a model. I wanted to be never married, never have a family for some crazy reason. I don't know. I just thought I needed to be this independent woman and never depend on a guy for anything. And, then I meet Grant, and of course we get married, and now I have to make some very massive, pivotal mindset adjustments. All of which I thought would, if I went in the direction of, wow, I'm actually going to stand by a man, support a man, help a man grow. He's going to help me grow, but we're going to do this thing together. I thought all the imaginary voices of women inside my head were just going to want to slaughter me. But it wasn't the case. And what actually the great epiphany out of all this was, once I made this adjustment to actually see if I could actually depend on a man and who was my husband and actually figure out how to work together in a coordinated effort. Could we reach heightened levels of success together? It turned out it worked. I'm not afraid to be labeled anymore. I'm actually really proud of the role that I play in the empire that we did. So that leads me to where we are today.
So good. So along the way of you guys building this empire, obviously, like people either love Grant or they hate Grant. I think everybody loves you, Elena. I don't know. You've got a great grace about you, but your husband, people either love him or hate him. And so inside or behind closed doors, how did you deal with that at the beginning when you started to get some, I mean, when you start to break away? I think this year is a breakaway year. You guys who are ready for a breakaway year, write breakaway in the comments because I think that's the power of this year. When you started getting the hate, what did you do? Because you can't make it without the hate, right? So where'd you go in your head? What did you do to be able to keep pushing forward?
Well, honestly, I'm very sensitive. I'm a lot more sensitive to Grant. I can almost take hate towards myself a little bit easier than I can when it's directed at Grant or the kids. But I do a couple of things. I really, I take in the data. I have a very good filter system now. First of all, I've learned to not allow my feelings, whether they're hurt feelings or whatnot, stop me from the mission or use that to stymie, stop my actions, and to persist forward in spite of having hurt feelings. And then I was able to recognize, when people stop us, they want to stop the family dynamic. They want to stop Grant from benefiting others by providing his material, which leads to financial success for family. So I looked at, if I stop and actually be affected and allow that to prevent myself from a reach for somebody else, then they win. So I started to really look at it as, is an us against them. Like they are the enemy. Like who is the enemy against a family? Who is the enemy against people actually creating wealth for their families, you know? And I just took a stand. And once you take a stand and a position for the side that you're on, it makes it a lot easier to be able to ward off the hurt feelings or whatnot. The second answer to that question is I do listen to some of it, and I think, is there a little adjustment, or to not throw the baby in the bathwater? Is there something in the communication that can be improved that would allow more people to be able to have Grant in his manner? Because I want him to reach 8 billion people on planet Earth. I'm a huge fan, right? So sometimes I speak a little bit of truth. And if he's alienating a particular group or whatever, you know, and if there's a way I can speak to him like no one else to kind of creep into his ear, he calls me the corrections officer. It's not always pleasant when I do this, but if I can find a way to creep in a little bit to where it absorbs in his psyche to where the next time he delivered a little bit better, so that we can actually go in and reach people, because some people who don't understand get confused by the noise that he's trying to break through to get your attention. Remember, he's competing against COVID, vaccines, the political, the this, the that. There's a lot that is inundating a human being now. So he's got to be big and break noise and get attention, whether you like him or not. He got your attention. He can only deliver a communication once he has gotten your attention. So that's a lot of what he's trying to do. It's not whether he's taking a stand on something or not. He's going where the attention units are going so that he can break in there and be like, I'm Grant Cardone. And then he's going to provide you with some value if you can hear it. But a lot of people misunderstand the noise that it takes an individual to penetrate to actually deliver a message for something else.
Yeah. It's a big conversation because a lot of people are afraid to talk. Like, actually, when I started to like Grant, it was when he started to talk about vaccines. I was like, wow. When he started to talk about vaccines, I was like, I love the post, like, if you're unvaccinated, come work for Cardone. And I love that only because I'm so pro-choice that it's almost not cool to be in a traditional relationship anymore. If you're not transgendering, you're not normal. And if you're not vaccinating, you're, you know, bad. And I think there's this whole stand right now that people are missing, which is, listen, guys, like, it's okay to stand for a traditional relationship, and it's okay if you're gay. You know what I mean? But it's just, it's like this whole, like, I think people don't realize this inclusive mentality is the opposite of wealth. Like, you can't not stand out. Like, you got to niche out and know who your people are and go bullishly in that direction, because broad is broke. So when you guys broke away, because I think this is the breakaway year, can you remember what shifted in even your mind, or maybe even what you guys focused on business wise to be able to break away when you went from working your ass off, which never stops, right? But working your ass off to, like, okay, it was that year, that month, that moment that we just said, we're going all in. What was that for you guys?
That was 2008 when we were faced with the economic collapse. I was pregnant with our first child. I had been an actress in LA. That career was over. Grant's career was now over as he knew it. He wasn't who he is today then in 2008. And we were under a lawsuit. It was just one trauma after the other. And that's when we realized, wow, we have been living a normal life. We thought we were like an upper middle class. Actually thought we were wealthy at the time. We thought we were rich, you know, taking into context that he's from Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. We thought we had money, you know, a couple $1 million. That is, wow. I mean, I thought we had made it. I thought that was wealth. That's when we realized in 2008 that, wow, we thought we were comfortable and we thought we were safe until an economic collapse comes in, until a lawsuit comes in, until our businesses were threatened. And then we realized how dangerous and disastrous it is to be normal, to think normal, because the greatest illusion of normal is you think you're okay until one day you're not.
Yeah.
So that's really what fortified us and encouraged us to break out and to be okay with not thinking normal and being okay with, well, what sustains future survival. The only thing that sustains future survival is expansion. It's abundance. It's abundance in resources, abundance in health, abundance in companionship and strength and power and money. And, it's the only thing that in people and assets, you understand abundance of that. When you have abundance of that, you can take hits. They will hurt, but you can take and sustain and continue to flourish and prosper during hits, because you're not at a normal condition. You're in an abundant condition. You're in a condition of power. Power can sustain hits. Normal cannot. Normal crumble. That's the moment when we broke away, where we were okay with saying normal's not okay. $100,000 a year salary is not okay. And we can we can actually educate you and train you how to have a second and a third source of income that feeds the first thing and the main thing, and actually put a person in a position where they can sustain, maintain, and flourish and prosper and thrive.
So we have a rule in our house, like the 10X rule. We have a rule in our house that is like everybody that says it's normal. When you have a baby, it's normal to not make love to your husband. It's normal to, and I'm like, I'm not going for normal. Like normal is not my standard, right? Like you don't want normal. Like when anybody ever says that's normal, don't worry about it's normal. It's like, you should think broke, right? You should think scary. You should think it's time to move out of this friend class even. Like you want people around you that are unbreakable, you guys. Like you want, this is the year. Like this is where things are going to close the gap, right? This is the year when there's a recession, your competition goes in the fetal position in the middle of the living room floor. They get obsessed with the news. They get obsessed with the fact that their friends and their family are getting laid off. They start to panic. When people, I think Grant says scared money doesn't make money, right? When they start to panic, that's when you want to get out in front and you want to lead. So something that at the end of last year, I was in Elena's office, I was in Grant's office, Stormy was with me, Pete Vargas was with me, and we all came together and we're like, how do we help people get out of the middle class? How do we help people get from normal to extraordinary? How do you become so unbreakable that it doesn't matter if you have period cramps, you're still going to go to work. It doesn't matter if your husband gets laid off, you got this, right? It doesn't matter if the note gets called on your house, you're in the right ecosystem that somebody knows how to get yourself out of that balloon that got that mortgage that got called. That's about becoming unbreakable, because there's no problem that is unsolvable when you sit at the right tables. So we joined forces with Elena and Grant and our friend Pete and Stormy, and all of us came together and we said, we're going to come together and we're going to push as many people in the middle class over to the right neighborhoods. We're doing it in a challenge that Grant's starting next Tuesday called the Unbreakable. You want to share about it real quick? Because we've got a link you can get to it. If you go to joinshanda.com, somebody write that in the comments section, joinshanda.com, go to that today. And hear me when I say this, bring 5 friends. And the reason why I say bring 5 friends is three are going to quit on you. Bring 5 friends, 3 are going to quit on you, because most of you guys still have friends around you that say it's normal. It's normal to just, you work so hard, you should just watch a Netflix series. It's normal to feel tired. No. You got to get so far out of normal this year. So you want to go to joinshanda.com, text it to 5 friends today. Right? Share it on your channels today, right? But bring 5 of your close friends, because 3 will quit on you. I'm telling you. And when you get to the end of the 5-day Unbreakable challenge, you want to at least have one person. You want to at least have one person that's going to run the distance with you this year, that primes their mind so that you explode together. Because it's kind of like a marriage. You don't want to quit on the same day. You need a business friend that's not going to quit on the same day so that you become unbreakable. Tell us about that challenge real quick, Elena.
Okay, so I just want to echo what you said. The number 1 rule to success is always show up. Always show up. Number 1 rule to success, right? And everyone talks in this society in the world about the 5 friends that you hang out with, you're a makeup of those 5 friends. So I think it's very interesting that you asked about 5 friends and to see where they're at with this. Because one of the most successful actions you also said earlier that I want to comment on is it's about the people in your life. You said you wouldn't allow unbreakable people to be around you. You were saying this to me, I believe, if I understood you correctly. And I wanted to reiterate that point, that I want to very much so clarify that in our organization and where we want to go, I no longer, and this is again not common and it is not normal, and I can be judged for this, but I am one of the roles that I play in our organization is I really protect the empire. So there is a complete non-negotiable for anyone in our inner circle who is not fully on board with investing in themselves, have complete utmost ethics and integrity that surrounds them. Like, I do not make make alleviation, that's not the word, but I don't make allowances, that's the word. I don't make allowances, or I don't tolerate this from my inner circle. You know, my inner circle is so strict. So first of all, somebody on the chat said they invited 80 friends and none of them want to show up to this. I wouldn't hang out with those 80 people. There's 8 billion people on planet Earth. You can find the people that actually want to level up and are interested in themselves and caring for their families enough to invest in themselves. So having said that, the Unbreakable Business Challenge, I've seen Grant now go through a few recessions, primarily the one that was for us was 2008. We almost lost everything in 2008. And I watched Grant and myself and what we did and the systems that we implemented in place to not only bring us out of that, but to make us unbreakable, like unbreakable for the future. It only requires having the right information, right? The definition of information, the derivation means formation of the mind. They say knowledge is power. Well, what if you have the wrong information?
Yeah, that's scary.
And if information means formation of the mind, if you have the wrong information, would it be logical to conclude that then you would have a deformation of your mind? So having said that, Grant has the right information that doesn't just work for a Grant Cardone. This is the right information that anyone can apply. This isn't, oh, go feel good. Let me go, I don't know, take an ice bath, even though I do those. Those are great for my body, but that's not going to get me to know how to take care of my family on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't walk on fire. This is applicable steps. I'm just saying, this isn't like, let me think I can accomplish something and not actually be able to apply anything. This isn't electrification, okay? Yeah. And let me feel good and get really excited and not have any tools to actually work with to actually make something manifest in the physical universe. Okay, so this is built on 5 pillars. And Grant wants to share this with you. Look, Grant comes from Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I never went to college. Grant and I are not supposed to be billionaires, on our way to being multi-billionaires. Not that that is anything other than to say that we have proven how to actually make things manifest in the physical universe. It doesn't happen by chance. It happens by getting around the right information and applying it. And now we made a vow to ourselves in 2008, if we ever were to make it out, we would share the information. All the people, just like us, all the other little people out there, from the Lake Charles, Louisianas of the world, that actually want and think they have a chance of making whatever they want out of this life. So Grant put it here. This is a free challenge. Right? The 5 pillars. First, it starts off the day one. Mind
is the framework. Yeah,
This
he's
is
putting
the
the
5 pillars. These are the 5 pillars that
we have a
if you get
delay.
this right on, by the way, this next coming year is probably going to be very hit hard economically. However, this year will make more millionaires than ever in history before. Which side do you want to be on?
Who wants
The
to be a
side
millionaire? Who
for
wants to be a
the
millionaire in the chat? Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants
million
to
percent.
put it in?
So we got money mindset, we've got marketing, we've got communication. How about being able to actually communicate to people and get and understood? Number 4, sales, and 5, scaling. When you really understand and master these, and it's not complicated. You know, Grant, he's a very simple man, again, from Louisiana. He speaks to everyday person. You master these 5 pillars for this coming year, and you will be on the other side of this potentially devastating market this year.
So good. Elena, I saw that your daughters are being taught how to underwrite real estate deals right now. And I want to just share that to all the mothers and the parents and the fathers out there. If you don't figure out how to get your mind right and sit at the right tables, right? So go to joinshanda.com. I'm going to be in it. I'm training on it. A lot of my friends are going to be in it, but Grant created this specifically for the recession. So there's nothing else out there that he's done that is specifically for the recession. So this is literally to catapult you. So go to joinshanda.com. We also put it in the description, but do that now and bring 5 friends. Like, no kidding, because I'm telling you 3 are quitting on you. I'm just telling you they are. So bring 5 friends, text it to them, share it, do everything you can to bring your communities to this. Elena, the fact that you guys are training your daughters to underwrite deals, talk about getting your mind right around money. Can you just share a little bit into that real quick? Because I think it's like the Bible says, my people will perish without a vision, right? And so without a vision, without a big reason to go through the entire challenge every day, like you don't want to miss the first day because it does the whole framework, right? And then every day he's going to outline the framework. Okay, so you got to have a vision, because guess what? The fridge is going to call you. You know, somebody's going to get in a fight in your house and you're going to almost be late to miss the challenge. You guys hear what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm talking about is real. Like, something's coming down the pipeline. Like, the spiritual warfare is a real thing, right? Like, so you're now going into the right neighborhood. You're getting the right information. You should be thinking about, I want to move to a better neighborhood in your home. But you also, if you've got children or nieces or nephews, you are responsible to understand money in a way that when you speak to them, you don't say things like, well, money doesn't grow on trees, or I need to hoard it and save it. The best thing to do when you get money is to deploy it. The more comfortable you are with money in your savings account, the more dangerous your life becomes. And y'all have that comfortability somewhere, right? If you're like, I'm procrastinating, well, perfectionism is the sister to procrastination. You don't have a problem in procrastination or perfectionism if your dream is big enough, right? Like, so I would just want to drop a note for these parents right now, right? Elena, tell us about training these girls, your daughters, how to underwrite deals.
Well, yeah, you know, it's about, we weren't educated by our parents about money. I was taught not to talk about money. Money had an element of, it's a bad thing if you get too much of it. There's a lot of misconceptions about money. And really, money is money. It's paper. It actually does come from trees. It comes from a cotton bush. But you know, there's a lot of false information around money. So we decided we are not leaving it up to the school system, who doesn't teach anyone about money or balance a checkbook. I mean, not anymore. No one needs to know that. But when I was being brought up, that was how we operated, right? So Grant and I just really decided, you know, the kids should know about money. They should be educated on money, how to use money, what is money, not be confused on it, have the right information around money. Now, teaching them how to underwrite deals. We're in the real estate business. We have multifamily. That is the catalyst that has brought us to the financial legacy that we have.
Yeah.
It's being able to figure out money. So my kids have been taught the 3 principles of money: how to earn it, how to store it, and how to invest it, which no one's being taught. You're being taught not to know about money because it
Right.
benefits the financial institutions that you don't know about money, so that they can pull their little tricks on you to make you think certain things.
Let me interject in here for a second. I had dinner with a very close friend that her family legacy wealth, like they own banks. And she's like, she pulled $2 million out of the banking system just so that she had cash on hand. Now she has stupid amounts of money, you guys, but she pulled $2 million out because she's like, I don't even know what's happening right now in the world. And I need to have cash on hand. Like it's an interesting game. And people are like, oh, I don't like the fear tactic. Screw the fear tactic. Here's the truth. If you don't figure this out, you're going to be in trouble if you're not already. You need to figure out how to multiply it this year. Real estate is one of the things we're going to be pushing a lot in. I did over $100 million in real estate in 15 months. And that was as a brand new agent, right? That was like a brand new agent. I didn't even know, I didn't even know how to write a real estate contract, and still don't. Right. And so that's understanding marketing and sales, which is important, but multiplication of investing it. So, but go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's just, I want people to get critically important.
Well, exactly. So that's why we teach our kids. People, when I was a kid, treated me like I was a kid. Our kids, yes, they're in kid bodies and they haven't earned adult rights, but they're very aware and capable, and they want to contribute to the family. They see Grant and myself and what we're doing, and they've been indoctrinated since they were very young. Look, this is Team Cardone. What we do is we want to make a difference for the better on this planet, and this is how we do it. Do you want to contribute along those lines? Yes, because who doesn't want to help? You want to help and be helped, right? That's very sane points when people can help and be helped. All the people that don't show up on this, that don't want help, you might want to look at that. It's not very sane, right? So our children, we allow them to exchange with us. We have a very big, exciting life. They get to fly private. They meet and travel the world. They have these incredible experiences, right? That can be a lot for a child, right? Unless they're able to exchange, right? Because if they're exchanging for those products and services, they're not given something for nothing. That's what a criminal is. That's criminal exchange. They want something for nothing. Criminals of our children, they're allowed to exchange. They're allowed to do and share their voices on 10X Kids, or understand and go be Grant's apprentice on the Real Estate King. They're allowed to exchange with us and help us. So it's, the more you allow someone to exchange, and the more they feel the rewards of work and being on task and purpose. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. You feel good when you can make products. And so that's why we educate them on everything as much as they want to know about, because we know that production is the basis of morale. And so when our kids have a purpose and they're not bored, they're winning and contributing as a family unit.
Yeah, that's so good. I love that. I taught my son, he's 7 years old, and he knows the difference between active income and passive income. And, they're moving into a world, a digital world, like the metaverse. They're moving into a digital world, and everything's shifting right now. And I think a good, healthy fear sometimes is good, because the last thing I want to do is leave my kid. My kid also flies private. I now live in Puerto Rico, but I'm in California at our house here right now. But we had to buy a jet because of tax issues, right? And so these are, everybody's afraid of their children to get around too much wealth. And I would be afraid of your children not getting around enough wealth. The reason why people send their kids to Harvard, it's not because Harvard's such a great school. It's because the people who pay the tuition for Harvard think differently. And so they don't think I need to get in there and grind. It's not a badge of honor to be the person who does everything in their life. It's a badge of honor to be a great leader and to be able to rise people up around you so that you create freedom around you. So any final words, Elena, people who are walking in, we know we want you guys to do the Unbreakable Challenge with us. So go to joinshanda.com. Don't even delay on that because you know you'll forget. So go to joinshanda.com and text it to 5 friends and tell them why they need to be on it. Part of your job as a leader is to not win by yourself, but to know that 3 of the 5 are going to quit, most likely. Okay, they won't finish. A lot of people start, but they don't finish. So protect yourself and bring 5 people to joinshanda.com. That will connect us as a community. And I will be sending out pocket coaching and additional stuff to help. As Grant's training the challenge, I'll be sharing, here's what I'm doing with what he just taught right now. So use that link, joinshanda.com. Bring your 5 friends, and we're going to rock it out starting next Tuesday, okay? Elena, in this crazy recession, what's your mindset on this? Final word.
My mindset is joinshanda.com. It's free. Make a decision. Make a commitment to greatness. Make a decision to really have this be your year, to surround yourself with other like-minded individuals who support each other, show active interest in the success of. Can you imagine how powerful you will be when you actually surround yourself with people who show active interest in the success of you? So when you're asking your friends to be there, see who shows up, who shows active interest in the success of each of you, the growth of you, the success of you. And I ask you and challenge you this year to really make it about your year and about your expansion and growing, and taking responsibility for not only for yourself, but your friends and your community around you. Like, it's really time. It is time now to level up, to wake up, and to really start making a difference and living up to your true potential. Because being compromised and playing small is not your game. You know you're a leader, or you wouldn't even be on this call today. It's time for you to use your influence to help people. And you need to get around the right information so that you can be your strong self. The world needs you right now. The world needs you to step up into your power and share the wealth. And not just finances, but the wealth and love, the wealth and creativity, the wealth and expansion, the wealth of winning, the wealth of creativity. All of that is who I'm asking you to step up and be.
So good. And avoid normal at all costs. All right, you guys, so much love for you. Thank you for being on Shanda On Demand this morning. Elena Cardone, we love you. We are praying for you. We are behind you, and we love that you're setting the path and you have the courage to go out there and take responsibility for your family and to unite with your husband. God bless. Talk to you guys soon.
Later.